Hey everyone, today I want to talk about a deck that I've been working on that I haven't seen anyone else talk about. That's going to be Dragunity Dragonlink. I think the new Dragunity cards are really good in a Dragunity deck because it makes the pure variant of the deck a lot better. If you've seen, I posted my own pure variant of Dragunity and the deck is very good. One of the best things about it is that you don't have to play cards like Zephyros or Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon anymore. Both of those cards are incredibly good and give you access to such better combos, but the downside is those cards are bricks. You also don't have to play a Tum anymore, but a Tum was never a brick because the card exists in the extra deck. By cutting cards like Darkness Metal and Zephyros from your deck, you can make your deck a lot more consistent because now you don't have to worry about drawing those bricks. The reason why you played a Tum before was to get that Darkness Metal, but if there's no Darkness Metal, what are you going to summon? One of the biggest issues that Dragunity have is that their tuner monsters are pretty bad. I'm not talking about Falchion or Remus because those cards are both excellent, but I'm talking about the tuners that you have to equip then unequip them. Those two cards would be Dragunity Phalanx and Dragunity Koos. Now don't get me wrong, both of those cards are incredibly essential to Dragunity because you need to have access to the tuners to summon them. Without those cards, it makes cards like Lewin really bad because then you wouldn't have anything to equip to the card. The problem, like I said, is those cards are really bad. Phalanx is essentially a vanilla monster because all he does is summon himself. It's very similar to another archetype tuner where they summon the card. However, Phalanx also doesn't do anything. The reason why it's the same, even though Phalanx unequips itself, is because other decks don't equip, they just summon the tuner. That's why Phalanx is essentially a vanilla monster because he doesn't do anything else after he's summoned. Koos is a bit different because he has an effect to turn himself into a level 4 monster if you use him as material for the summon of a Dragunity synchro. That sounds really good and you're wondering why people would even use Phalanx, but the reason why you have to use Phalanx too is because you can't use Koos as synchro material for anything other than a Dragunity synchro. That's a really big issue because normally I'd prefer to play 2 Koos over a Koos and a Phalanx. However, I can't do that because I need to be able to make cards like Savage Dragon and Crystal Wing. Another Dragunity card that you have to play that's pretty mediocre is Legatus. The card is pretty cool because he can summon himself from the hand if you control a Dragunity monster or Dragon Ravine on your field. He's also randomly MST as an ignition effect, which is pretty nice, but that's all he does. When the card first got revealed in the Dragunity Drive R structure deck, it was pretty amazing. When you combine him and Remus together, you get a combo that doesn't even need your normal summon. What you would do is that you discard Remus and then add Dragon Ravine to your hand, activate the Dragon Ravine and special summon Legatus. Because you control a Dragunity monster, you can bring back Remus from the grave. That's pretty nice for its time, but the game has just gotten so power creep that having a card that only summons itself from the hand isn't really that great anymore. A lot of cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Now summon themselves, they either summon another monster, they get a search, or they send a card from your deck to the grave. That's one of the biggest issues I have with a lot of the Dragunity cards. They're essentially vanilla monsters that you have to play, otherwise your combo doesn't work. But once again, they're just bricks or they just don't do enough. Now this is where Dragonlink comes in because Dragunity can solve a lot of the issues of Dragonlink. Dragonlink is really good because they have a lot of starter cards, but the issue is they can't really summon too many dragons from the deck. You pretty much have to rely on Rocket Tracer and using that card's effect to summon Rocket Loader, and that card will get you Absoluter. It can also get you some other cards like Rocket Detonator or even Noctivision Dragon. But Dragonlink doesn't have a lot of ways to summon dragons from the deck, which is pretty strange. This is where Dragunity comes in. Dragunity can easily summon whatever dragon card they want because they have a Tum and they also have access to Samsara Dragon. This means that you can make a Seals, tribute over the Seals, and summon any dragon. On top of that, like I said, they also have a Tum. You can search for Glow, add Mistleton to your hand, summon the Mistleton and equip Guiderg onto it. You activate the Grave effect of Glow to summon the Guiderg, and then you have 2 level 6 monsters for a Tum. This is pretty much the reason why I think Dragunity and Dragonlink work really well with each other. Dragunity doesn't have that many good dragons that they want to summon from the deck, but they have a lot of cards to summon dragons, versus where Dragonlink has a lot of really good dragons that they would like to get access to, but the problem is they can't summon them from the deck. Dragonlink as a deck would love to have an easy way for them to summon a Tum. So now I'm going to show you guys a Dragunity Dragonlink combo using the very bare minimal investment. To do this combo, you only need 1 Black Metal Dragon and that's all. You're going to normal summon Black Metal Dragon and turn that card into Striker Dragon. 2 effects will activate here. First, Black Metal Dragon will get you a search for Darkness Metal, and then Striker Dragon will get you Boot Sector Launch. You're gonna banish the Striker Dragon to summon Darkness Metal and activate that card's effect. This card will bring back the Black Metal Dragon in your grave, and then you're gonna make a Romulus using both monsters. Once again, 2 effects will activate here. Black Metal Dragon will let you add Meteor Dragon from your deck to your hand, and then Romulus will let you get a search for Lance. You're going to activate your Divine Lance on your Romulus and activate the effect of Lance to put Phalanx from your deck and equip it onto Romulus. You're going to summon the Phalanx. You're going to send Red Eyes Black Dragon from your deck to the grave to summon Meteor Dragon. Now you're going to take all monsters on your field and link them off into Halqifibrax. Halqifibrax will summon Lewin, and then the effect of Lewin will put Phalanx onto it. You're going to unequip the Phalanx and use both Phalanx and Halqifibrax to summon Georgius. Georgius' effect will activate to summon Guiderg. Guiderg's effect will add and discard Remus, and then you're going to take Guiderg and Lewin so you can summon a Tum. Now you're going to activate the effect of Atom by detaching Guider to summon Rocket Tracer from your deck. You're going to activate the Boot Sector launch and then use the effect of Tracer to destroy that card. Now you're going to summon Rocket Loader from your deck, and the effect of Rocket Loader will add Absolute Rudder from your deck to your hand. Now you're going to take your Tracer and turn that card into a Pisty. Now you're going to activate the effect of Remus in the grave to summon it because you have Georgius on the field. Now you're going to take your Remus and turn it into another Striker Dragon. Now the reason why you have to link off your Remus is because one of the link monsters that we're going to summon needs only Dark Dragon monsters. Now you're going to summon Absolute Rudder from your hand, then you're going to take Loader, Absolute Rudder, and Striker Dragon to summon Trizboril. Now two effects will activate here. Absolute Rudder will get you search for Rocket Caliber, and then the effect of Trizboril will let you search Double Trigger. You're going to bring back your Black Metal Dragon. Now you're going to take Pisty, Trizboril, and your Black Metal Dragon to summon Boril and Dragon. Black Metal Dragon's effect will activate here. This will let you get a search for Red Eyes Darkness Full Metal Dragon. Now you're going to activate the effect of Double Trigger. This will let you banish the materials from your grave. You're going to banish your Tracer and your Striker Dragon so you can summon Fatal Flare Dragon. Now the effect of Fatal Flare Dragon will let you add Detonator from your deck to your hand. Now you're going to summon Detonator from your hand and use the effect of Fatal Flare Dragon. You're going to put your Trizboril into your Spell and Trap Zone and now activate the effect of Detonator. Now you get to summon your Trizboril back. Now you're going to take a Tum, Fatal Flare Dragon, and Trizboril so you can summon Boril Shroud Dragon. You're going to activate your effect of Rocket Caliber and summon this card from your hand. This card will negate the effect of Caliber and bring back Rocket Loader from your grave. You're going to take Loader and Caliber so you can summon Borreload Savage Dragon. Now you're going to activate the effect of Savage Dragon because it was synchro summoned. You get to target your Trizboril and equip the card onto it, and now Savage Dragon will gain 3 Boril counters. Now you're going to activate the effect of Full Metal Dragon in your hand and reveal this card and shuffle it back into the deck and set Max Metalmorph. Now this is your end board, and this is amazing for just one card. You have Boril End and Boril Shroud together, which is honestly really amazing to have. The reason why is that Boril Shroud Dragon can negate any card that your opponent controls. However, you must be able to destroy a rocket monster on your field. Even if something were to happen to the Detonator on your field, you would still have the effect of Boril End Dragon to summon another rocket. This is really cool because even though both monsters are a Link 5, they're designed to work with each other, which is pretty cool. You also got to use one of the best Link 4 monsters in the game right now, which is Georgius. This card is crazy good. The reason why this card is so good is because it has a really strong Floodgate effect. As long as this card is equipped with a Dragunity monster, your opponent cannot activate the effects of monsters in the grave. On top of that, this card's also a Spell and Trap negate. Another great thing is that when your opponent tries to special summon a monster, you can summon a Reed Bear from your extra deck. You will have Guider in your grave, so you're guaranteed to have one monster negate. Savage Dragon really doesn't need any explanation, it's just a negate and a very powerful card in general. Finally, the best thing about this board is that you're safe from Dark Ruler no more as well because you have your face down Max Metalmorph. What this card does is by tributing a level 5 or higher dragon monster, you can summon Full Metal Dragon from your deck. Now this card isn't anything special, but it's just another Omni negate. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't think anyone would complain about having an Omni negate on their board, and they also get to beat Dark Ruler. So as you can see, Dragunity really helped out Dragon Link a lot. Dragon Link really appreciates having the ability to summon a Tum, which is why the cards like Dragunity so much. Not only that, even though I didn't show it off, there are other Dragunity combos in Dragon Link that are pretty nice. Like I said, the Remus Legatus combo is very nice because that helps the deck make a Crystal Wing on their 5th summon. Now Dragon Link is safe from Nibiru, which is a very important thing for them. Nibiru honestly destroys Dragon Link ever since they lost the ability to make an Apollousa. Without Apollousa, Dragon Link gets destroyed by Nibiru. It's pretty crazy how a deck like Dragon Link is so weak to Nib now, but the Dragunity cards really do fix that issue. I'll show you guys a quick example about how the Dragunity engine can beat Nibiru for Dragon Link. You're going to activate the effect of Remus and send the card from your hand to the grave to add Ravine from your deck to your hand. You're going to activate the Dragon Ravine and discard the random card to add Legatus from your deck to your hand. Because you control Dragon Ravine, you can summon Legatus from your hand. Now you can activate the effect of Remus because you control a Dragunity monster. This card will summon itself from the grave. However, now you're locked into Dragon from the extra deck for the rest of the turn, but that's honestly fine. You're going to take Legatus and Remus so you can summon Guider and activate that card's effect. This card will add and discard Baby Rock, but now the effect of Baby Rock will activate to summon the card from the grave. Now you're going to take both monsters to make a Crystal Wing. This is also your 5th summon by the way, so now we're safe from Nibiru. This is what makes the Dragunity engine so good in Dragon Link. You can either use the cards as a way to stop hand traps, or you can use the cards as extenders. The Dragunity cards are so good for this reason because they add a lot of versatility for Dragon Link. On top of that, what makes this even better is that you didn't use your normal summon, so now you can summon Safer, Black Metal Dragon, any card that you want. Being locked into Dragon really isn't that big of a deal. I honestly think it's better to get locked into Dragon than Dark. The only reason why the Rocket cards lock you into Dark and not Dragon is because Revolver also uses the Topologic cards. Because the cards are Cyberse and not Dragon, Konami had to think of a way to lock you into something that wasn't Dragon. This would end up being Dark, but it's actually a lot worse to get locked into Dark than Dragon. Yeah, it's nice that you can use some of the other non-Dragon stuff like Summon Sork or IP Masquerena, but then you miss out on cards like Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, Crimson Dragon, all the good Dragon synchros. It definitely would have been better for Rocket to lock you into Dragon and not Dark, but they made the Topologic, so they had to do this. It's still fine anyways, but it would have been better to be locked into Dragon. There are other things you can do like using Glow and Mistleton as well as Carinus or Falchion. However, I will leave it up to you guys to discover what you like playing in Dragon Link. The new Dragunity and Dragon Link cards complement each other well, so I hope you guys can have some fun and even post your own combos online. So that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good one. Take care.